We're back again. Thanks for joining us. Another episodes of Idiots with Internet here, and I'm just stunned right off the bat. I gotta ask, how did this start, AJ?
Well, Pat, I'm going to tell you, when I say this, it might not sound real, but I could remember being in my mother's womb. And I remember kind of having dreams. And I had my best friend with me. Right? Come to find out, that was my hand. Now, fast forward to when I was about 3 or 4, I started having dreams. And these dreams, I started to be able to manipulate them. Okay. And so when I started to manipulate these dreams, I had found this magical sort of a, sorry, I get a bit emotional, sort of like a mansion, like Michael Jackson. Okay. And, and it's like, oh, you see that right there? How that just moved? That wasn't me. That's the vibration. So anyways, I'm in this mansion, and this old man, he's in there, and he says, "What do you want to know?" So I look at him and I say, "Everything. Show me the way." So he showed me the way, and that's why we're here, Joe. So that's why we're here. And just as you see this right now, this sort of movement going on, right?
Oh my goodness!
Everything is a
I see
vibration.
it. I see it done moved around.
You understand? Everything moves in a
It's
certain.
like it's got a vibrancy, like it's operating on its own
Right.
wave.
That's right, Joe. I mean, Pat. That's right, Pat. That's right, Pat. That's right. It's a vibrancy. It's a vibrancy. It's a vibration. Everything that tell me that there is no cause without an effect. Tell me there is an effect without a cause. How can you explain to me the Big Bang? What is the
I'm no
cause?
mathematician. I mean, I haven't studied all those things. I'm just a biologist.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. See,
But I have
even now
seen
you
frogs
starting to talk like
vibrate.
me. Even now you starting to talk like me. You see, that's the equilibrium. You understand?
Oh man.
Because we vibing right now. We on the same emotional wavelength that copper and magnesium can also have. You see, when
That's
copper and
incredible.
magnesium are playing at the tone of E,
I mean, I never knew
they,
that carbon was bisexual.
they can be. That's the thing you're not understanding,
This is
Pat. But that's the
incredible.
question you ask. So the question you ask now, can two men elope? Yes, of course they can. Of course, why not? Okay, this is natural. This is something we find in nature. You understand? Now, when you take the atomic weight of a single sperm, all right, now you
Okay.
produce 57 million sperm a day.
Well, I certainly do. You know me working out all the time.
That's right. Now, you take the atomic weight of that single sperm cell and
Uh-huh.
you
Uh-huh.
multiply that by 2, then you divide it by itself. You divide it by that equation, that
The
equal.
original one.
Yes, correct. So 57 million divided by 2, that gives you 33.5698
Hey, Jamie's checking it.
million. Yeah, pull
He's
that up.
nodding. He's nodding.
Thank you. So now hit the button on your calculator. That's third down and left over. Left over twice, third down, left over twice. That's
Do you mean
time.
the cap locks or the 4?
We're talking square roots, brother. So square
Oh,
root
we're going with the 4 then.
what is the
Unless you with
square
some of
root?
that
What is the
other
square root
math.
of the answer of the atomic weight of a single mass of semen? So you take that semen, 57 million. Okay. Now you square root, or you divide that by 2. Sorry. Sorry. This is a bit much. You divide that by 2. Okay.
Okay.
What you get? About 33
He
million.
says it came up with an emoji that's just like one of those sideways people crying 2 tears.
See, now that's the balance. You understand? So what I'm trying to say is I use this equation to try to explain my new math. Okay. So when you take 57 million and you divide that by 2, you get 33 1,783,561.2.
He must
Okay.
have converted it into bits or
So
something,
what you get now, when you square root that number, it brings you to 57.00000015. Not
It's that
zero
one
zero
five
zero
at the
zero
end.
zero 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 0.00015. All right.
Okay.
So it has to be a
What was that?
balance.
9? But it's the 1-5 at the end that matters. What is that
Now,
about, Terrence? I mean, AJ.
now you're understanding. Now you're understanding.
I've
So
seen it. I seen it. I
so
seen it.
let's just Jamie,
It's like if someone waved lights across my mother's belly when I was young. I can now see the square root of pi. Like I just know it. Thank
Jamie,
you.
Jamie, if you can pull up some of my, I have 94 patents. If you can know,
94.
two of which have been cited by Lockheed Martin. All these companies with death and destruction, and they are creating augmented reality. You know the Apache helicopter, that helmet that rides in there with that pilot.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
they
yeah,
took
yeah.
that from me.
It looks
They took
pretty
that.
cool.
They took that from me. Now I didn't want that to be a mechanism of death. I wanted that to be a mechanism to bring people closer together.
Yeah, right, like Nobel
Jamie,
and his dynamite.
please pull some of this up here. Pull some of this. Jamie, pull this up. Just pull that up, Jamie. Let people understand.
Thomas, let's dive into his very recent appearance on Joe Rogan. Completely insane.
Was almost like when you're dreaming and you're falling and you hit the bottom and you wake up.
That's it.
First memory, but I didn't wake up here. I was inside my mother's womb,
I see it.
and I was about maybe 6 months inside the womb.
Yeah,
He
so what
comes
you
out
just
hot
saying.
in the first 30 seconds, claiming that he
I mean, I hate
remembers
this guy
being in
talking
his
so much
mother's
trash
womb.
on you.
I'll
Me too. Me too, Pat. I hate this guy.
I'm
I
sorry,
hate
I
everything
remember
about it. I don't like
the
him.
whole 9, and the proof
Look
of
at
it
you. Look at
was
Fly
when
though. I like that
my wife
jacket.
Mira that you
Done
just
good.
met.
Well, thank you. I dress very
When she
well.
was 6 months pregnant with my son Kieran, I wanted to prove to her what I was talking about, so I put a light on her stomach every day at 6 o'clock at night.
Now this is
And I would
smart.
move that light
As I said,
back and
super
forth and
smart.
put a song on for a week straight. First thing he wanted to do is see light. He loved lights.
he
And
loved.
I mean, right there, you know, babies hate light. Babies they are not attracted
They
to
move
anything
away
new.
or they move to it. But my son
Mm.
moved to it. Now I don't know if that was because he was wrapped around his umbilical cord. He was, choking from all the light that I was giving him. But he's
You're
alive now.
right.
He's beautiful. He's well. I can tell him anything. I can ask him what's the square root of pi. He tells me 3.16758945321. 9281760. You understand?
8675309. And
Thank you.
it's smart. He's a very intelligent young lad. I met him myself. He was driving a car. He drove
That
Daddy's
boy's
Bentley
only.
over.
Could you believe when I tell you that boy's only 3.5 years old?
Yeah, he's using pedals, big blocks on the pedals, but he's doing it.
He's running for president next month. Next few months, you're going to see a campaign, right? And he's running off of one of my 93 patents. We have patents. Why don't you
And
pull that up,
speaking
Jim?
of,
absolutely nothing except that he
You-
likes to waste money.
you were
A
talking
lunatic
about
on
how you
podcast.
We put
had
that
some
together.
patents in
And
here.
at
Big
7,
ups on
8,
that.
I was working with these things, and then I went through all of the hell that I had to go through.
Yes, he had a grand and then
Periodic table, build a new periodic table.
I
Because the stuff
thought
I had
this was
learned
just
in college, I went to school for
It
chemical
is.
engineering
It is.
first year
Innovative.
with Pratt.
It is.
you know.
So, what I can tell you is, I mean, we can go back to the periodic table of elements, but they do not. I've spoken about this in Harvard. I've spoken about this in UConn. And these
from mostly corners and from the backs of moving cars.
That's right. That's right. And
Just
these
screamed at passersbys.
well, don't well, so these professors, they have told me they don't want me there no more. You know
They
why?
asked you to leave the premises.
Because I make too much sense.
It
I
was
make too much
yeah.
sense. They cannot tell me that the atomic weight, okay, of one sperm cell, one seed of life, okay, did not have an effect. With my math, with my periodic table of elements, this can be proven. This can be accepted. This can be revolutionary. So, Jamie and Pat, please, if you could bring up maybe some of the linchpin. So this is something I worked on. This is also one of my 94 patents. And the linchpin is very magical. You see, I mean, as I say, this ain't special and meaningful, but it is. As everything, you know, all the people who talk about this podcast, this interview, they're going to say, this was a waste of time. This guy is crazy. And you know what, Pat? These people, we need that. We need that, because then there will be
have dissenters. But, you know, I mean, to your point, this does look like a giant semen. I'll give you that, Alex.
Thank you.
I'll give you that.
No,
it does look like a giant
me
semen.
by my Christian name. Call me by my Muslim name. Now, I'm Terrence Howard.
Yeah, Terrence Malak.
I'm Terrence Malak. Malak. I'm Terrence Malak.
Chemistry or any predictive power.
Bonding, they all sit as the middle point between two noble gases. So those things don't really exist. It's only one substance.
No, Terry, those elements exist. Hydrogen and carbon and silicon.
Just a different way to display it.
It is a different way, Pat, and I'll tell you, they got it wrong. You understand that the way it should work now, it's not from here to
Cobalt
here.
and rhodium are different elements. They are not the same thing. Hydrogen gas is not the same as a hunk of coal, which is not the same as a sample of silicon. And
that is also correct.
Just a halfway point of
I think all of us can agree to that. Jamie, you're good. You're good. He's thumbs up. Beryllium, silicon, carbon, all of those things are different.
Now,
I tried to buy them on the internet. You know, back in the 90s when things were loose, Amazon would sell you anything. I could just get that carbon, beryllium. I could buy oxide on that.
Pat,
you know,
hear me out.
But you're telling me that those things are like vibrating. Well,
they're not vibrating. Everything around them is vibrating, and that is what's causing them to sort of resonate back. Do you understand? So again, going back to the cause and effect, you cannot have an effect without a cause. So therefore, you cannot say everything in space is vibrating or everything in space is ever expanding, because what's the force pushing back? What? There is none. So it doesn't mathematically equate. There is no balance. Now,
there's no balance. There's no balance in this. If you look at this chart right here, look at this. There's no balance. If that was a ship, big old booty, you can't have that. There isn't any balance in this. Whereas, like the sperm waves you were showing me earlier,
which is irrelevant.
I mean, the problem is,
look at that. Look at the sweet balance on that sperm.
As I said,
first thing that we're able to perceive
is
hydrogen.
We're not perceiving
That's the first visible element, because before it is too
perception is only
for us to perceive it. You know,
a visual existence that is a cause and effect.
They're keeping things from us.
I mean,
I want to say a big old thank you. And I want to say a thank you to everybody who likes and subscribes, to everybody who getting it and getting in on it, you know, letting us know they're keeping things from us. You're not. You're sharing everything with us here today.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on. I guess this is a 2-part episode. Alex is over in the back room. He's gonna join us in a minute. But thank you, Pat. Thank you.
What is that? You got Alex Jones back there?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, Alex Jones and the gay frogs they always talking about?
Sorry, no, his name is Alex. He normally runs this podcast. I'm just here as a guest, as you know. So,
that handsome gentleman you done tied up. I thought you were just sending me pictures.
You know what? I think we're gonna end this interview right about now. Okay, and Alex will come in. So